I'm disappointed, and what it reveals to me is that under the tools of whiteness, capitalism is still there. While black men are trying to use patriarchy to save blackness, companies like Mielle, companies who feel the need that they have to scale beyond their community, scale to a point where it's dangerous against their own demographic. These individuals are trying to use capitalism, another tool of whiteness, to save the race. And guess what, sweetheart? It won't work. And if you know what, if you want to use capitalism, why you ain't capitalize on me? Yo, Monique, we are noticing that there's a whole bunch of products that are making black women's hair fall out. What should we do? Instead of telling them, them bitches will be fine. Instead of doing that, you should have said, let's investigate.
Right.
Do you know what an investigation would have opened you up to? You could have had conversations. You could have went in the community. You could have done hair tests on YouTube with the actual people. And then after that, you could have ragooed it. What do you mean ragu? You could have came out with different flavors of sauce for every fucking hair. Don't tell me my hair sensitive. Make me a product, bitch. I'm sorry, excuse me. Make me a product, Mielle. The Mielle conversation, if you're not familiar, Mielle is Mielle was a black-owned hair care product that came from the same origins as like a Shea Moisture, same origins as like Madam C.J. Walker and her work. These are supposed to be hair products that are centering the black experience, because what we have noticed in white-centric hair products and beauty products, that most of the time those products are designed against us, right? And I don't mean that to say nefarious. I'm not saying that Unilever and Procter & Gamble are secretly in a lab somewhere concocting things to be like, ooh, I can't wait to make these bitches' hair fall out. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, and we've watched plenty of videos about this, on a very biological level, black hair and white hair are different, right? The way that our pores are shaped because of the melanin in our skin allows our pores to be more oval, whereas white folks, they don't have no melanin. They get ashy and get psoriasis weirdly. Later, House will tell me about that. That means that their pores are a little more circular. So when you push hair out of a circular follicle versus when you push hair out of a oval follicle, you get different shapes. And those different shapes, like with pasta, hold sauce or product differently. You ever notice that? Mm-hmm. You ever notice that? When you get the real tangly, the real twirly pasta, that pasta holds the sauce a little bit better than just some straight ass spaghetti. You feel what I'm saying? Huh?
Rigatoni, I think.
Yeah, Yeah, give me the rigatoni, not your thick ass spaghetti. Who? First off, no, I'm not gonna do that. My people love spaghetti. I'm not gonna do that. Eat your thick ass spaghetti if you want your thick ass spaghetti. But my point is, the hair follicles are different, right? So if you look at how white women do their hair, you look at how black women do their hair, black women are adding moisture into their hair. White women are adding products that are essentially just more versions of air, right? That's all it is, right? Yeah. Okay, so that being said, you have Mielle, which was a black-owned company creating products for black folks because there has been a limited amount of black products in the space, right? Mm-hmm. It is, as the Shea Moistures, as the Carol's Daughters, Mielle has decided that they want to scale. And so they have sold their company. They have been acquired by Procter & Gamble, and which I want to say just real quick, as we're talking about the death of DEI, we ain't even talked about it yet, but as we're talking about the death of DEI, Procter & Gamble for the last, I think, 7 to 10 years has been the biggest buyer and producers of black-centric marketing assets. You remember that commercial? It was the conversation. It was a mom having a conversation. Well, moms having conversations with their children about how to interact with the police. That was Procter & Gamble. Remember that one Juneteenth commercial where the people are sitting inside and looking at folks outside celebrate Juneteenth, but they black and they trying to figure out what Juneteenth is? That's Procter & Gamble. All of these summer of enlightenment, ooh, we're going to have this spicy ass conversation via commercial. All that was Procter & Gamble. And if you can't tell already, I have an attitude with Mielle. Play the first video, sweetheart. Big attitude.
Well,
I got a big attitude.
What do we have here? Is that Mielle Organics as a defendant? Monique Rodriguez? Oh. So you thought that you was going to sell us a product, right? Turn around, sell that company to a larger company, let them tweak it, have our hair falling out, and you thought that you was really gonna get away with it. Oh, no, no, no. Come to the front. Who is this from? Cliffwood Law Firm. Okay. Wow. All of her locations got a notice of violation against Mielle Organics and Procter & Gamble Beauty. For what product? The straightening shampoo? Oh, what is that? A cancer-causing chemical? Oh no. What violation, might you ask? Are you in violation of Proposition 65? It requires that.
So, backstory: Mielle, after being acquired by Procter & Gamble, the ladies of YouTube, the users of YouTube, even one in my own house, started to notice that there's something a little off about the Mielle products. You want to talk about that real quick?
So I've been aware of the brand for a while, but I didn't get any products until I think this year. And I might have used it maybe once or twice, and I noticed that like my scalp was reacting horribly and my hair was falling out in clumps basically. Like it was, yeah, I'm still trying to like recover my scalp from that, and that was a few months ago.
So
yeah,
right. So the ladies of YouTube, the same word of mouth marketing ladies who allowed Mielle to become a household product, these same ladies, the same demographic ladies, start to complain, hey, Michelle, something's going on here. My hair's falling out. I'm getting dry patches. There are lawsuits about there being cancerous material being within the product. Can you tell us what's going on? You know what Michelle told us? Michelle told us, ain't nothing changed. Y'all tripping.
It sounded like a you problem. That's what she told
That's
us.
what she said. She said, oh, you don't know how products work on hair. Mm-hmm. You don't know that there's certain sensitivity to certain products based on things. Maybe you should test out the product on your hair before you buy a whole bunch. She gave us all this, right? The same people who marketed and pushed her product so that it could be a national product, so that it could exist in Target. These same people are now explaining that there's something wrong with the product. Michelle is like, I'm going to keep selling it. It's cool. Play the second video.
So I know I'm late to this conversation about Mielle Organics, but I wanted to add my 2 cents before it was all said and done. Let me first start by saying Mielle has never paid me to do anything. I've never done a Mielle promotion or collaboration. They're not paying me to do this. I just combat mis and disinformation across the board, and this is no exception. So, first off, I want to say that there was a person behind the brand. Her name is Monique Rodriguez. That is the founder of Mielle Organics. Her and her husband have done a lot of work to make sure this brand serves community from jump, even now through today. So it was really difficult for me to see a lot of stuff that was happening on socials and having heard this woman speak in person on a couple occasions. But on every occasion, she spoke about how the deal she made for her acquisition was the first of its kind. It was unlike any other. And I think in our community, when we hear the word acquisition, the picture that is painted in our head is automatically one of a white-facing company coming to take over a black brand, take complete control, and now the product turns in a way that no longer serves community.
All right, so as y'all can see, y'all favorite person, Lene Vinay, actually she was in my top 5 cultural analysts of all cultural analysts. Lene Vinay, gets onto her social media platform and she starts to defend the Mielle products. And this is when I start to have a little bit of an attitude. This is when something is occurring to me that I think we need to have a long-form conversation, maybe an entire season of Wake and Bake with BeMo about. We've asked the question in season 2, season 3, season 4, what are we supposed to do with niggas with money? The answer is now clear. The answer has revealed another question. How are we supposed to regard those who use us to develop their own wealth? That's the real question. How do we regard those who use us as assets, as pawns, as easily throwawayable things so that they can build their own wealth? How are we supposed to regard these people? Because if Monique is looking us dead in the face and telling us that nothing has changed about her product, while at the same time, the same individuals who allowed her product to be as popular as it is are also telling us this product is dangerous to us. Am I supposed to be elated about her acquisition? Am I supposed to get on the team the same way I got on the team for Black-owned products and be like, yo, support this lady? Absolutely not. Correct? Am I wrong? Am I tripping? And that's where I want to go. Keep playing, Lene. Keep playing, Lene.
And that's not the case here. Number one, the deal that she made, she ensured that her research and development team would be chock full of Black scientists who made final decisions on formula, final decisions on client testing, final decisions of what went out to market. She also makes sure that the boardroom, the place where decisions are made generally, is full of Black folk. And that is a collaboration between Procter & Gamble and the Mielle Organics team. And as a small business owner myself, I can say that scaling can be very difficult. I don't care how big your brand is, if it's still independent, scaling is a difficult thing.
Lene, I'm done. I'm done, Lene, because what you are arguing right now is for the benefit of capitalism and not for culture, not for community. And in the same mouth, in the same word, I want to make sure I'm not attacking this young lady, Monique Rodriguez says in the same mouth, in the same word, that we are building this brand for community. But what are we supposed to do with a product that is detrimental for community while you're saying you're doing it for community? You put Black people on the board, you put Black people at the front of the acquisition. Do you know who else had an unprecedented acquisition? Shea Moisture had an unprecedented acquisition. Go to the next joint for me. Go to the next scene for me. Yeah, cross-examination. Now it's time to cross-examine because your boy, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway because I'm coming in spicy. Your boy, while he was sleeping with Superman, had to answer the question with a bold face. Shea Moisture came and asked us, and the only reason I can talk about this now because the report is already out. Shea Moisture came and asked us, hey, can you look over our stuff? Unilever gave us all this money so that we could be for community. Can you look over all this stuff and answer the question to me? Answer the question to me, Black Superman. Are we closing the wealth gap? The wealth gap, I think right now is $13 trillion.
Insane.
$13 trillion. If you were to Google this report, wash, wealth, and repeat, and you were to scroll down, do you know how much money Shea Moisture gives to community? $10 million. $10 million, which represents at max 1% of their annual revenue. At max. The important number being at max. Who decides if it's going to be less or more people? Oh, probably the board members. Oh, didn't Rishu, what's that boy name? Anyway, didn't the founder of Shea Moisture, didn't he ensure that he would have Black folks in the boardroom, that he would have Black folks as decision makers, that he would have Black people who are scientists to make sure that the product don't change? And what happened? The product changed. Black folks left the boardroom. And now we got $10 million that's answering the question of are we closing the wealth gap? Let me ask you a question, sweetheart. Let me ask the Wake and Bake with BeMo Nights this. If I said there were 5 institutions on the planet who had the capital, the resources, and the strategy to get rid of the racial wealth gap, if I told you there were 5 companies, would Mielle be one of the 5?
You would think so, right?
Hell no. In what world would Mielle have anything close to $13 trillion?
Didn't she get 640? Oh, you said trillion.
Trillion.
Okay, my bad. My bad.
Trillion. $13 trillion. Would I even expect a hair company who is making products for Black people to address the wage? Would it even be a Black person's responsibility to address the wage gap?
No.
Down. So when Mielle says we're doing this for community, when Mielle says we have an unprecedented deal that allows Black folks to make decisions within the boardroom, decisions within the laboratory, decisions within the marketing, but we still get a product that has cancer-causing ingredients in it, what are we doing here? How am I supposed to regard those who will use us as pawns, who will benefit off of our death for their own wealth? How am I supposed to regard you? But BeMo, aren't they giving money to like nonprofits and stuff? Y'all know how I feel about these punk ass nonprofits. Hit the next button on the carousel. So also when I was sleeping with Superman, y'all remember Aunt Jemima, right? Don't tell me you forgot Aunt Jemima. So Pearl, was it Pearl Milling Company? Yeah. They have taken over Aunt Jemima. Was that General Mills? Yeah. General Mills, in the transition to Aunt Jemima, they said, you know what? We have been benefiting off of the back of this stereotypical black woman who has been feeding America for centuries. Well, for a century. We're going to change that. And they replaced it with the Pearl Pledge. You know what the Pearl Pledge is? They give $1 million. Is it $1 million? I can't remember the amount. They give a certain amount of money to about 25 black girls who are going to school. 25 impoverished black girls going to school. Okay. So in order to sell pancakes, what are they going to do? They are going to use the image of black women downtrodden so they can sell more. Did they learn? And by the way, the Pearl Pledge is done. They're done. Multi-year finished about 2 years ago. The Pearl Pledge is done.
That's crazy. So you got rid of one black woman to just
replace her with 5 modern black women.
Right.
So that you can sell more fucking pancake mix. Mielle, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed, and what it reveals to me is that under the tools of whiteness, capitalism is still there. And while black men, which we're going to talk about very soon, while black men are trying to use patriarchy to save blackness, although that is a tool of whiteness, companies like Mielle, companies who feel the need that they have to scale beyond their community, scale to a point where it's dangerous against their own demographic. These individuals are trying to use capitalism, another tool of whiteness, to save the race. And guess what, sweetheart? It won't work.
No.
We're going to get patchy heads, dandruff, bald black women, discomfort, and guess what? Fucking Procter & Gamble going to put y'all ass out. We get to say who on the board. For how long?
Right.
We get to say who the black scientists are. For how long? And if you know what, if you want to use capitalism, why you ain't capitalize on me? Yo, Monique, we are noticing that there's a whole bunch of products that are making black women's hair fall out. What should we do? Instead of telling them, them bitches will be fine. Instead of doing that, you should have said, let's investigate.
Right.
Do you know what an investigation would have opened you up to? You could have had conversations. You could have went in the community. You could have done hair tests on YouTube with the actual people. And then after that, you could have ragooed it. What do you mean ragu? You could have came out with different flavors of sauce for every fucking hair. Don't tell me my hair sensitive. Make me a product, bitch. I'm sorry, excuse me. Make me a product, Mielle. Are you crazy? Don't tell me I'm sensitive. Make Mielle light. Don't tell me my hair too curly. Make Mielle 2A. But it's instead, shut up and wash your hair. Y'all done lost your fucking mind. It won't work. And you know what's crazy? Mielle might be around for the next 50 years. They might be experiencing success for the next 50 years. They might be in the closets of your granddaughters. But I will never forget that they won't be in the Nappy Palace. I won't forget this moment. Gonna look me dead in the face and say, everything's cool. Are you crazy? From the same people who still eat well-done steak because they didn't trust the meat markets in the 60s. You gonna look me in the face and tell me I'm safe after my hair falling out? Are you crazy? The same people who laugh when they run because it was illegal to laugh in public in the 70s, and you telling me with cancerous product in my hair, it's okay. And I'm supposed to support you. I'm supposed to uphold you. I'm supposed to love you because you a black-owned business. The best part of waking up is BeMo and the blood.